Hey, this is Gary with Easy Go Junk Removal, and as you can see, we're still doing business as Junk Remove All. And the more we get into this process, the more we like our new name. We've talked to many people, family, friends, etc., even some customers, and they all like the new name better. So we're in that process of changing Junk Remove All to Easy Go Junk Removal. One of the things I failed to mention last week was one of the most important things you can do is when you pick a new name is to get that .com. I know a lot of people like .net and .co, whatever. I personally like to get that .com because .com is that universal, no matter where you are, it just fits. Everybody knows what .com. They can remember it's Easy Go, Junk Removal .com. And so we went and made sure before we thought about changing our name whether or not we could get the domain. And one of the problems with this domain was the best I could do was junk remove all. We found that extremely frustrating for customers and people to remember how to find us on the net. And so this new name we are really feeling good about, because we got the .com. Not only do we have EasyGoJunkRemoval.com, but we went ahead and purchased EasyGoJunk.com. So no matter what happens, they won't get confused on which company they're getting and going to. It's going to be us, and so we're excited about that. So that's one of the things that you want to look into when you're considering a name or a name change, is whether or not you can get that .com. And I think that is really pertinent. So that's one of the things that we're definitely happy about. I'm still looking at getting the logos done, and we still got to figure out how to save. Now it's 106 positive 5-star reviews on our Google My Business page, which if you don't have set up, you want to set that up, because that's a very pertinent thing to get into the map system of Google in your generic area. Meaning, if you live in Chicago, you want to start building that Google My page up, because then you'll start ranking on the maps. You'll start showing up, and it's really important, because we found, even though we hadn't at the time ran any Google ads or any SEO, we were still ranking in our general area #1, and that had to do with working on our Google page. So if you haven't done that, it's real simple to set up. And it's real simple, in my book, on getting people to be vested in your company. And they've already paid into your company, and if they like your service, that's the time to approach them and say, hey, would you mind? And so that's one of the things we work really, really hard here. Okay, so another thing you want to do when you go into business for yourself, and this goes beyond just junk removal, is counting the cost. You know, and the reason I need to bring this up is today, for instance, I had a flat on a dolly the other day that made life absolutely miserable. The tire wouldn't hold air. It used to kind of hold air for an hour and I could get by, and all of a sudden I can't use my dolly. And of course the reefer dolly that I have isn't good for everything. And so I needed that dolly to do the work. And so counting the cost is, it costs money to replace that tube, and the time that it takes to put it in. It might only be 15-20 minutes to put it in, but those are all part of doing business. Your gas is a part of doing business. Your insurances are part of doing business. Your estimates, the ones you get and the ones you don't get, those are times that cost you time and money, you know, for gas to get to X, Y, Z. And so these are things that you want to count before you just pop into business. These are things that we're learning as we go. And there's so many things on YouTube, like Sonoma Strong and all these different other channels that really hammer that in. And I think that's really smart and important to remember, because you might make, let's say, $450, $500 for a load. Well, that's not profit, because you got to pay for the dump. You got to pay for the gas to get you to and fro. You've got to pay for your insurances. Everything has a cost. And also, I'm blessed because I work side by side with my wife, Joe, and we have a built-in team. Some of you aren't going to have that, and so you're either going to take longer to load, and or you're going to have to hire somebody to help you load, and that is where your gross is great, but your actual profit, that P word, it keeps dropping as it goes because you have to pay somebody to go. Well, my goal in all of this is to get off the truck. I'm not as young as a lot of you, and so my goal is to work this about a year, maybe a year and a half, and then eventually get off the truck and build a team that can go out and make money for the company. And so before you even start, you should know your cost. And even though you think you know your cost, there are going to be things that pop up that you don't. For instance, I think it was it was 2 weeks ago yesterday that my trailer brakes had to be completely rebuilt, and that was a major cost. And so these are things that pop up all the time, whether or not it's a tire that goes bad, or whether or not it's a brake thing that goes bad, or your truck doesn't want to pull the, all those kind of things you have to add into because they sneak up on you. And just understand that no matter if it's used or new, things have a way of just breaking down and not working. And so you always want to take a piece of your profits and put them aside in a separate bank account, so when these things happen, they don't just hit you and go, oh my God, you know, I'm out of business. You always want to put back a healthy amount of money so you can handle these oops and oh my God, what happened moments. And so that's something that you really want to always remember and keep in the forefront of your mind. So we're in our 7th month of business here in Arizona, and we're extremely happy with the progress that we're making. Are we where we want to be? No. Are we getting to where we're going? Absolutely. We make mistakes almost on a daily basis on either prices or miscalculations, but we are pushing forward. One of the things that me and my wife are very thankful for is the junk removal community that is all around us. There are people that are just fantastic, that have been fantastic to us. And first of all, thank you. And you all know who you are. And so we want to be a part of that community. We want to be helping other people strive for that professional side of junk removal. It's real easy to get a pickup truck and just haul junk, right? But to be professional and to be able to call for a professional wage, etc., that's what we strive on doing. And so we hope we can help people in our journey, and just stay with us because there's a lot more to come, and we hope you stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate you, and thanks for watching.